I'm back here. Thank you for everyone showing your patience. And I'm here again for my live show with Richard, who is the renowned personality and who is one of the most renowned person in his fashion industry. He has his own firm. He's the owner of Jessicalouise, and he's the person who organizes the fashion shows. He is like doing these things from last two to three decades. So yes, I am inviting today Richard, and yes, Richard, I am waiting to connect.
Hello again, you're back.
I am so sorry, Richard.
That's
Just
all right, it's not a problem.
this is the signal problem, and we cannot help it out. It's not on our hand. Well, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's been very hot here for us. It's not as hot as you,
I know.
but for us it's been very, very hot.
I know. Okay, my fans are literally waiting for your introduction on my page. So, can we have some small introduction from your side?
Certainly. My name is Richard Dalton. I am the owner of Jessicalouise Occasion Wear. It's a UK-based company that sells wedding dresses, prom dresses, evening gowns and jewellery. We will be expanding the product range over the next couple of years to include lingerie, accessories, shoes, etc. So that's me, where we stand at the moment. We've been trading for a few years now. COVID-19 obviously has had an impact, as I'm sure it has in your country, but we're in this together. We've got to get through it together. So this is why I agreed to come on the show today, to show my support for you and to get you to support me as well.
Exactly. And I would say that it was a great experience working with you, and to be connected with you, it was really nice. Tell me, Richard, that how you finding the impact of 2020 on fashion industry? Like, how will you say the this COVID-19, this pandemic time, actually giving the worst condition, giving the bad impact on fashion industry, the fashion shows. It's like really, really loss for all those who are involved in fashion, and those who have planned something more different. They have their own dreams. They have their something new for 2020, and they are not getting it. How would you suggest on that?
The problem is, because COVID-19 has had such a big impact, it's affected everybody worldwide. There are going to be companies that go to the wall, that will fold because of COVID-19. Unfortunate, but that's going to be the case. Some of the bigger companies are going to survive purely because they are too big to fail. They will have to change the way they do things. Even smaller companies like mine will have to change the way you do things. In this country, and I'm sure it's in your country as well, the chances of doing any kind of show this year is very, very small. You're
I
not going to be able to do it. And even if you do it, social distancing rules must be put in place, and that's going to restrict what you can do. So you're going to be forced to either have less people at the show or go for a bigger venue, which increases the cost to get the number of people there that you want. So for 2020, unfortunately, it is going to be a case of you can't really do a fashion show or a show of any kind, because they are just not going to be able to do it. That doesn't mean to say that you're not going to be able to do anything. The virtual shows are being done by the big companies. They have the ability to film an advert, for instance, and then push that ad. So the online presence that you've got at the moment, you've got to increase. You've got to do more online, and you've
of course
got to connect with people online. If
it
you
is.
turn around,
Bad impact. Yes, exactly.
if you turn around and say, right, let's wait until next year, you're going to lose. You've got to, as a company, whether you're in India, whether you're in Britain, whether you're in America, as a company, you've got to keep your presence out there. You've got to push out stuff all the time. Connecting with you is one of the processes I'm doing for keeping my name out there because it's a brand new area that I can connect with. So for me, it was important that I connected with you. Going forward, I want to kind of repeat this thing so that we can keep a relationship going and thereby keep everybody involved. The more people you involve,
Yeah,
the more chances are you have of surviving 2020. If you don't do anything and just think, I'll wait until next year, you're going to lose that big time. You've got
you
to
can't.
keep a presence out there. Okay.
Exactly. But I have seen like many brands, like you may say the Vogue, Lakme, Milano, everybody is overcoming with all huge loss. And they were actually planned for all those things related with the garments, new style, new techniques for 2020. It was been like started last, you may say 2019 started from November, December, but people were not aware of it that it will go in a huge way. It will make a huge chaos. Everybody was planning with all those things. Lakme was also planned for February. February was not like awesome, you may say. The show was there. Even for August also, they planned. Vogue also cancelled their fashion show. It's a tremendous loss for fashion industry. Nobody was getting the best response what they were thinking about it. Now what it will happen now, the things will be in a softer way, in a smooth way, or again this people are saying they are not hoping for best into 2021. They are coming up with like it will go in a same way, might it will be in a straightforward, might it could not be. But what you will suggest, like will the companies, the brand should go and think in a different way, positive, or they just change the trend for their people, for their clients, for their the buyers, or it's like some other strategies or planning would be there.
The problem is social media and social marketing has only just kind of really started to take off. And
Correct.
the big companies have started to planning for the the advantages that social media and digital social marketing can give you. So they started to put strategies in place so they are not as affected by the COVID-19 as a lot of the smaller companies are because they didn't have the processes in place. With social marketing, digital marketing, etc.,
Exactly,
it,
this kind
I
of
mean,
social.
we are only using about 10% of its capacity, to be honest. You know, there's so much more that we can do with it. And if you do it correctly and you do it constantly, that's the secret behind it. You've got to constantly do it. Then you can take advantage of it. These big companies are ahead of us because, as you said, they were planning to use this kind of system back in
This is
2019.
you are
19
absolutely
has
right.
just brought it on quicker.
Exactly. This all depends on the social media. What we are going through, it's again the social media's hand is on upper hand, and they are doing their awesome job. Without their hardcore effort, is like we cannot reach each number of people to announce what we are coming up with, the new products, new things, new technology. Again, it is like we need to publicize the things with the small things. Either they are going through what in our mind, they are coming up with new things. Like I have crossed through with many people, and their demands are actually changing what it was previously. They are not thinking for occasional wear right now. They are going with the normal casual wears again. So how will you deal on that type of clients or the people? What will be your suggestion? Will the trend be same as it is going through, or will it of course, the companies, the owners are getting a bad impact on this, and what they were expecting with the year, with the new year, they are not getting that response. It cannot be right now as the situation is going on. Again, the casual wear is coming up on trend. What is your suggestion, Richard?
The problem is because for a special occasion wear, for instance, wedding dresses, prom dressing, they are very emotional purchases. So people need to feel that connection, i.e., they need to put the dress on. So obviously, at this moment in time, that is very difficult to do because nobody's willing to travel to try a dress on because of fears of what could happen. So for special occasion wear, it is not something that we are kind of actively pushing because we know that we're not going to, there's no point having a shop, for instance, full of special occasion wear if nobody's going to visit the shop. So we know that for the rest of this year, there's not a lot of point in pushing um, the wedding dresses and the prom dresses, but we will push the evening gowns and we will push the jewellery because there were still people we wanting to go out in the evening because the pubs and the hotels are starting to open up. So they will still be able to go out in the evening and they want to look attractive in a nice new dress. So that side of it is still possible. You've just got to change your strategies and emphasize your strongest points at this stage. So for any business, normally they will have several product lines. They will have something in there that they can promote. So they've got to sit down and think out which is the best area to do it. So if they're doing shoes, for instance, it may be that a different type of shoe is something that could tie them over. All right, so you look at changing the product line slightly or using a different product just to tide you over this period.
Absolutely
Now,
right.
there are lots of different areas within the fashion show that is
Mm.
affected by COVID-19. Makeup artists, etc., they just cannot work at the moment. So I don't envy anybody that is a makeup artist. Hairstylists, they've got a problem as well because it's one-on-one contact all the time. They've got a real problem. But within the fashion industry, you'll have different types of designers. Some that will be selling
Correct.
ready-made wear, so they will need a
Yeah.
manufacturer to produce their clothes, etc. They've got to have an online presence, ideally an e-commerce shop, so they can sell it through the e-commerce shop, and then just keep pushing it using social media and digital marketing. That's the way 2020 is going to go. You need to have a presence on social media to do that. Now, each area of the social media platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, etc., they have their own audience. So you've got to decide how you're going to target that audience for your particular product. That means sitting down, thinking about it, and working out which audience is best for you. Now, Facebook obviously is now older generations, whereas originally it started as university attendees.
Yeah.
Now it's gone more to the more mature um, age group. Instagram is for younger people, but I guarantee you, us oldies are going to take over Instagram, and we
Correct.
will start running Instagram, and they will find another platform which the youngsters will take on board, and they will work on those. So at the moment, if you want to connect with
So
young
the
people,
social media work is going through. People cannot do so. They are helpless. They cannot move out and go for the purchasing. Social media is actually helping us with all the deals and dealings with the governments or anything else is. Now tell me something related with the occasions. As per in Asian side, events, weddings has been restricted. How about in UK and other countries? As per your comments, they must be also restricted to with related with the events or marriages or anything else, and no buyers is there, no dealings are there. how it is coming through with all those situations.
I mean, in the UK at the moment, you can have a wedding, but you're only allowed a maximum of 30 guests. I don't think I know anybody that wants to get married with that few people there. They all want 100, 200 guests there. Obviously, that
Okay.
is something which is very, very difficult to do. There are people that are going to flout the laws and the ruling and go ahead with a wedding for 100, 200 people. Um, that they will struggle to get professional people to take part in it. So the likes of photographers won't necessarily do it. The likes of Toastmasters won't necessarily do it because of the extended number of people. So there are opportunities to
Right.
actually sell within the wedding industry, but at the moment it is very, very difficult. One of the ways that it is possible to do that is to arrange a private viewing of wedding dresses. The problem with that is somebody would have to come to a shop where you've got the wedding dresses, and then if they go into the shop, it's not always the best kind of environment, and you don't know exactly what's been going on there. So they're a little bit apprehensive about it, and I
Right. Right.
think that is something that will continue for the rest of this year. You know, you are going to struggle regardless of what industry you're in, what products you're selling, because of COVID-19. All you can do is look at your strategies, see how you can tweak them to take advantage of the situation, connect with people, so you can do more virtual stuff. So you could do, supposing you had a range of shoes that you sold, right? You could actually do a little video and showcase the shoes. You could do it on the beach, you could do it in your garden, you could do it in your front room.
Yeah.
And you could do a little video and then you can promote that video. The problem is a lot of people, they will make up some content and then they've got the content and they put it on their computer and it sits there. They don't take the next step. You know, this
Correct.
is a problem with a lot of companies. They just don't take the next step. When you do some content, whether it's pictures,
It
whether it's videos,
really
etc.,
does.
you've
Yes.
got to
Absolutely.
do something with it. You know, you build a funnel, for instance, for a range of shoes. A lot of people will send the funnel out, and then they don't do anything with it. And it's that you need consistency and you need action. And if you're not doing both of those, you're going to fail. So it is important in this age with the COVID situation at the moment that you are consistent, that you're always pushing something out on social media, because then people know that you haven't gone away. They don't see you posting. As far as they're concerned, they're very fickle. You no longer exist, and then you've lost. So, you
I
know, I would urge everybody to turn around and push something out on social media all the time, just to let everybody know that you're there.
Absolutely right, Richard. Even I have seen, like, being the owner and the founder of my brand U21, I have seen and I have gone through with the taste of people. They are like coming into the sobriety, and you may say no jazzy look, no you may say the heavy look they are actually required for. They are coming up with something casual wears, no heaviness should be there. Tastes are changing, and tastes are changing. Do you think is the profitable for us, or it is completely a loss for us? What would you suggest on this? Due to this COVID, due to this pandemic time, of course, we can rely and we can say that people are changing with their mind, with their thoughts, with their attitudes, with their steps of every day, and they have completely changed their taste on fabrics, their design, their style. How will you suggest on this thing?
The problem with kind of casual wear, that kind of thing, is there are hundreds, if not thousands, of companies out there doing that. So if
Yeah.
you want to break into that market, you've already at a loss, because you are trying to compete against people that have been established for years. So you're going to find it a real struggle. You will have to do it as cheap as possible to get breaking into so that you can survive. The problem with that is when things start to improve, it will be very, very difficult to up your prices because people will expect you to be selling at the low price that you've set yourself. Right?
Right.
In a normal situation, if I were to enter a casual wear market, and I've looked into this, in a normal situation, what I would do is I'd actually go in at a kind of mid to high price, not the highest,
Yeah,
certainly
yeah.
the highest. The reason being for that is you're testing the market, right? If you
That is
turn
what
around,
I was about to ask. Yes, due to this COVID, the prices are affecting, and people are like they are willing to do so, but they are like bounded with so many things, and they are not coming up. Their desires are coming, but their affordable things are not coming up, and they are unable to pay the things. So this is, of course, the graph of this fashion market is coming down. Do you
there
think?
is what is known as a pain point. When you're buying something, you have a pain point where it becomes too expensive. And you've got to find out what your customer's pain point is. Normally, what will happen is you either target a certain market, so you're aiming at a certain income bracket, right?
Yes.
Or you kind of aim at the whole market and then you test it by putting clothes out at a set price. If that is not moving, you then lower your price a little bit until you find the point where you've hit that pain point, you've gone just below it, and people start buying your dresses.
You're right. How about the old stock and the new demands? Like, yes, of course, everybody does having their old stock of their garments, and the change of their taste, the change of their desire, it is also affecting the market. How will it deal so? Like, nobody is aware of, or you may say nobody is like willing to have the old stock, but they are asking for something new, casual. Again, the same thing is happening. Now what will going to happen with the old stock as comparison to the new stock? How the owner will going to deal on it?
The problem with old stock at the moment, because a lot of companies have already folded, their
Yeah.
stock is now coming onto the market and the prices have dropped. So your old stock is going to lose value because if you can buy a dress for £30 instead of £80, obviously more people will buy the £30 dress. So, your stock will have lost value. It's as simple as that. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean to say that it's a waste of money, right?
Yeah.
You can do things with the old stock that you wouldn't normally consider doing. Now, one of the options is, and I'm not suggesting everybody does this,
Hmm.
but one of the options is that if you've got a shop, you have
Hmm.
a range of dresses in the shop,
Hmm.
and a lot of them are not moving because of COVID-19.
Hmm.
So I would take a portion of that,
Hmm.
advertise a day where you are going to sell those dresses off very, very cheaply, right? So supposing you have 30 dresses that you're going to sell off very, very cheaply, and I
Yeah.
mean very cheaply, £5, £10 for a dress.
Yeah.
Then using social media, you've got to do it via social media because you want the people to come in. Right? They will come in, you have to have social distancing at the door, you have to have only two people in the shop, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But they will come in, they will buy the dresses, but it will imprint in their mind that you have dresses there that they will come back and look at when things have calmed down, when things have got better. So, once, twice maybe during the rest of the year, if you've got a facility to sell it from a shop, I would suggest putting a small proportion of those up for sale really, really cheap, so
Yeah.
that you get people to know the shop. And the idea is that you keep your brand in front of people.
So
Uh,
you think so that we should rearrange the price, rearrange everything for our clients so that it is beneficial for them, for as well as for us too, and it will give the best market impact on this pandemic situation. You really think so?
yes, because what you need to do, what a lot of companies are failing to do, is keep themselves trending. You know, they
Correct.
need to keep their name in front of people, and the companies that are not doing that are going to the wall. So they are failing. Right? So yes, it means you're going to lose money, but what would you rather lose? Money on 30 dresses, but keep
Correct.
customers coming back, or the
Yeah.
money on all the dresses because you can't sell anything? You know, at the end of
Correct.
the day, you've got to keep yourself out there. You've got to keep your name trending so that people know about you and they will come to you when they are in a position to start buying again. But that
Yes.
won't be until next year anyway.
Correct, you're absolutely right. Because companies are making their strategies, making plannings to come up with all those things. See, actually, the fashion is keep on change, but again, it comes into the luxurious way, and of course, the demands who cannot deny, but yes, they are still restricted, they are still bounded with all those things. Now, what the people, the clients, the customers are focusing on it is the online purchasing. You think so that it is like it will again give coming next years, it will give the same flow, and will it be a loss for the company or will it be a beneficial for us? How will it be like?
With the online presence, with selling stuff online, the e-commerce side of it, yes, it is something that all companies have got to develop and
Yeah.
got to go ahead with. That will run in conjunction with the actual physical sales. So everybody that can't get to the shop at the moment because of what's going on can still look online and buy something online. The problem with that is they need to have a really good website. Now I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I had a website built by Paul Bean from Mocko
Yeah.
Studios, and he built me a fantastic website. It's the
Yeah.
first one in a series. We are going to upgrade and improve them, and that is something that all companies need to do.
Yes.
But they do need a really good website. And once they've got the website, they've got to keep trending it. They've got to keep pushing it. So it's all about keeping your name out there and letting people know that you still exist. The
But
ones that don't do
do
that,
you think so that this is like giving us only the limitations of our clients? See, do having a showroom, having a brand, and running a company, open gate is there, new client is entering, new demand is, but online surface is like limitations, the foundations, the like until and unless you reach the people through online, don't you think so? It is quite difficult for the selling purpose.
yeah, I mean, online sales when you're first starting off is very, very difficult because the problem is if you don't have any kind of online presence, you've got to
Yes,
build that from the start. And this is
yes,
what I was saying with social media. You've got to keep your presence out there. You've got to keep trending. It's only when people know about you that they can buy from you. So you've got to have the website, an e-commerce website that works to facilitate the sale of stuff. But the
correct.
important thing is that, especially at this time at the moment, is that you have the facility to promote yourself. And that is something that we've all got to do. Now,
Yes,
I connect with photographers, I connect with designers, I connect with models, and I will arrange photo shoots for them. And the idea is that we are keeping the presence going, keeping things online so that they can see it. You will quite often see me posting about things I'm doing on my account page. So
So
anybody that
through
follows
online,
me
how
will see.
much is your approach? Through online, how much is your approach? It is giving a flawless, or it is giving some restrictions are there? Are you able to do so with online a good things, a good number of amount of garments, or still it is slow?
It's slow at the moment. There will be slow. The secret is you've got to promote the right things. So in my shop, because we've got wedding dresses, prom dresses, evening wear, and
Yeah,
jewellery. At the moment, I'm promoting the evening gowns and the jewellery. I'm not focusing so much on the prom dresses and the wedding dresses because there's so many restrictions around it. So
correct.
with an online presence, you've got to target the parts of your business that will benefit most from it. So anybody that's got a website,
Yeah.
at the moment they have to turn that into an e-commerce website,
Hmm.
and they have to have products on there that they can sell quickly and cheaply. So for me, the jewellery is a good example of that. I've got some fantastic jewellery on there, and what I'm going to do to help promote it is until the end of the year, anybody buying jewellery off my website will get a 15% discount. Right,
Absolutely.
so that is just one of the strategies I'm doing, because at the end of the day, I need to push it out there. I'm doing a jewellery shoot in a couple of weeks' time to get more content for it. I will be pushing that out. I've got
Yeah.
a couple of fantastic models lined up for that. So we would just kind of hit that and push that. So anybody that's kind of looking at doing an online presence, they need to turn their websites into an e-commerce site, because a lot of them are not. They're just a lookbook online. They need to turn it into an e-commerce site, and they need to promote the parts of their products which are easier to ship. So it's the type of thing that are easy to buy without coming in to try on dresses, etc. So it'd be jewellery, it'd be shoes, it'd be handbags,
I know.
all that kind of thing. If you've got
Yeah.
handbags at the moment,
Yeah.
you've got handbags at the moment, please come and talk to me, because I would love to sell your handbags for you. Because at the moment, handbags, believe it or not, are going to be the big sellers, because the
That's
buyers in this country,
nice.
they can't sell the dresses, so they're selling the accessories, and that is they're looking at handbags, shoes, scarves, that kind of thing. So if you've got any handbags, any of your um, fans out there got a handbag company and they want to start selling handbags, talk to me, please.
Lovely. That's really nice from your side. One thing more, Richard, I just want to know that retails had already seen massive declines in sales, and yes, traffic at the start of this crisis. Now both have gone zero. So, how will they come up? How will they overcome with all these crises?
I missed the very first bit. Can you repeat the first bit?
Like retail market has already seen massive declines, so they are going low and low. They have already arranged the stock, they have already come through with all those buying and selling the stuffs, but the impact of the traffic which they are actually willing for, they are not getting. And it's a massive loss of the retailers. Now, will they go further with the new stocks, or will they stop doing another process and they will continue? It is a huge loss for them. Either it is an occasional wear, you may say, or it is a casual one, or you may say the ready-made garments. Many things are there. So, how will you feel like? Will they go according to the choice, to the demands of the people, or they just be still and let the things go on? How will
Yeah.
you suggest?
This is the fashion market in general.
Yeah,
The fashion market.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what will happen is, at the moment they can't develop new dresses to a large extent, or new
Hmm.
outfits to a large extent. The reason being is they don't know when we are going to open up again. You know,
Right.
we need to open up properly. So there's a beauty fashion show, a beauty show that's due to take place in November.
Hmm.
That's the first show that I know of that has actually been
Hmm.
booked and taking place.
Hmm.
I don't think that will actually go ahead because of a second wave of COVID-19. So you're
Yeah.
looking at 2021. And I can't see anybody being able to do anything until 2021. So come February, when they start looking at doing, you know, the fashion shows again for the season there, what you will find is there will be a lot of rehash of older designs. So they will tweak the older designs rather than develop a new design because they've got the old design just sitting there doing nothing. So they need to promote those collections, but they need to add something to it to make it more sellable. Right?
Right.
And then what will happen is later on in the year they will be aiming for new collections where they're new, designed completely, and that will more likely be the September fashion shows that the new collections come out. But in February, if they go ahead, I think you're looking at a rehash of a previous collection which has been updated, so we say. And I think that's the way that we're going to have to go forward because people simply cannot afford to do a new collection when they've
Hmm.
got no money coming in.
Hmm.
Any designers out there that are looking to do a show next year, I think you've really got to consider
Yeah.
revamping what you've already got. It's a stopgap at the end of the day. That's all it is. To revamp it, kind of put it out of the February next year, but
Yeah.
aim for a complete collection from September onwards. Okay.
Super. That's really nice. What I think so, Richard, that during this time, nobody cannot think even that will this be in a normal way or not? Will the conditions will come in a same way or not? But it's my personal opinion, or it's my personal thought. You may say. I think might be the shows can come online through the media, through the social media. Is it possible? Or if it is possible, will the generation, will the people will going to take interest on it? Will there be a charm, the light, as we show the live shows and the glamour there, the everything is there on the show. I have been there, I've been a part of Lakme, and I'm associated with them. So being a facilitator of Lakme, it's a huge honor to work with them. And live show is something different. Social media is like, if the people are thinking, or if the brands are thinking that if nothing is possible, we can come up with all those losses through online scenes. Registrations will be there, the buyers can connect, and online demos will be there, the models can come through ramp, and online social media will going to help. So do you think, is it okay, it could give you the best result? You think so?
You've obviously done fashion shows. You know how stressful
Yeah.
they can be.
Mhm.
Anybody that visits a fashion show thinks it's absolutely fantastic.
Of course, of
If you
course,
go out the back, it's a totally different kettle of fish.
of
I mean,
course.
it can be
Yes,
so stressful to do a fashion show. I
yes.
did one last year, and to be quite honest, I was buzzing all day long. It went so fast that I didn't see my own fashion show because I was doing everything at the
I
back.
know, I
Um,
know.
the fashion show that we've got planned for September 2021, we're actually going to do it differently. And the reason we're doing it differently is there are three areas that I wanted to address. Normally, at a fashion show in this country, you get friends and families of the models and the designers who are never going to buy um, from the designer because they're family, they're friends, right? So
Yeah,
my answer is that we sell tickets to the general public and we target certain sections of the general public for those ticket sales. Now, that's going to be very, very difficult. it is going to be very, very hard because you've got to, going back to the pain point, you've got to get the pain point just right. You've got to get the ticket prices just right for people to come to do it. Now, at the moment, there's no point doing a show because you can't get that pain point right because people are just, they just have not got the money. There's no
Right.
point doing it this year, no point doing it early next year because they're still not going to have the paint.
Yeah, yeah,
But the
exactly. It
the
is
thing,
the contribution of everyone. You may say from the technician to the photographers to the designers to the stylists to the jeweler. Everybody is give their 100% for the show. The reality of the show is something different, which I can, like, I am really missing. I loved my work doing these shows, and this, due to this pandemic, of course it's a loss for us. Everybody is suffering with this, hoping that coming year will definitely give a charm, some shining for our work. But the things which go on, and the flow which we actually give every year, like in 6 months we are displaying our things, the shows are there. Will you think that the charm will be still stable, or it will affect the things, people will scare, or people will give less interest for the shows? And there, of course, the tastes are changing, the demands are changing. So you think so that it will definitely affect the things in coming up years?
yes, the short answer is yes. The thing is, with a fashion show, because you are, um, the expression is bums on seats. You need bums on seats. You
I
need
know.
to get people to it, right? And at the moment, that is going to be very, very difficult, even in February, because of COVID-19.
Yeah,
As you lead into winter, and you see more cases come up, the
yeah,
infection rate comes up, etc.
yeah,
It's going to put a hold on things. Right? So that's why we've chosen to do September 2021 rather than February 21. We now, what we're going to do is over the next year, and I think it's important that you take the longer term approach at it, is that we are going to do certain events to promote the fashion show. So there will be photo shoots I'm doing, so I'm promoting the photo shoots to promote the show. Um, there's going to be what I call the big fashion walk, where I get as many models as possible to walk through London about 6 weeks before my actual show. And the idea behind that is that you actually connect with the general public and they see the dresses. But that's got to be done at that time because you need it to be kept in people's mind. And it goes back to trending. You need to keep yourself in people's mind. You've got to do it the right way. So we're taking the longer approach and we're doing events to promote it. I'm doing a model safety seminar later this year where I've got 100 guests coming along, and we are going to talk about model safety and how to keep models safe because there are people out there that try and take advantage, unfortunately. So it's all about doing small events on a small scale
yeah.
safely so that you can promote yourself and then target something at the end of it. All
So
right. So
how
for us,
compare
us
with the
so
international market to the Asian market? See, I have also some of the clients who are from UK, US, and even from New Zealand, and they are asking for the same style, same collection, but they are comparing the price. They are relating with the difference. How will you compare? Like, it is giving a bad impact to the person who is dealing their products in the country, and they are not getting the best performance, best things from their same client. So how will you generate all those things? This is actually coming up, Richard, and being a consultant of my yoga to many of my candidates who are from different countries, they are like willing to join from the coach who are from India just because of the difference of currency. This is giving the impact that not having the money, or you may say in the comparison of Indian rupee, they are getting the cheap offers, and they are willing to do all those things, willing to come up with all those requirements, the need to be fulfilled, but not with the same place where they are, but from different place. Are you facing the same thing?
I mean, every country and every company will set their own criteria for what they actually want. So if you've got a company in America, for instance,
Mhm.
that wants you to send your last collection, but they want you to lower the price, that's because they're struggling and they want to make a living as well. Okay. Um, that has a rather short lifespan, because at the end of the day, next year when things are improving, they're going to see that the prices are going up, but they still want the prices from you to be cheaper because they want to make some money back. So
Yes.
by dropping your price, what you're actually doing is a short-term fix, right? You're not thinking far enough forward. If you turn around, say your dress is normally £2,000 and you drop it down to 1,500 for them, right? Next year they could sell that for £2,000, all right, after paying you the 1,500. Then later on they're going to sell it for 2,500, but they're not going to turn around to you and say, "Oh, I've made an extra £500 out of this. I'll go back to
True.
the original price." Why should they? You've already agreed to sell it to them for 1,500. So why would they allow you to increase your price? So yes, they are going to do it. It is going to be a short-term fix. But the people at the bottom of the pile, i.e. the designer, are the ones that's going to suffer most. Because if she allows her prices to drop, it's going to be very difficult to build the prices back up.
Yeah.
Normally, what will happen is, going back to the pain point again, if you set your dress at a price and it's not selling and then you lower it, it's easier to lower it than it is to raise it. So, if you're selling your dresses for 1,500 and they're not selling, and you drop it to 1,250 and they sell, then you're selling at that price. You
Correct.
can you can sell at that price, but if you were selling them at £1,000, yeah, you'll sell the dresses, but you've lost £250 because nobody's going to pay you 1,250 if you sold it to them for £1,000. So these
So
companies in America, etc., are going to take
So
advantage
you are also giving an offer with each government, as the India and different countries are doing so, to fascinate their customer, their clients. You are also offering the same offer, something on some other garments, or it is like no.
with designers, individual designers. Obviously, their designs are unique. If you're doing casual wear,
Hmm.
and there are hundreds of thousands of companies out there doing casual wear, you will have to work out where your pain point is and whether you can survive on that. If it's a case of a £30 dress, for instance, you've then got to sell for £15 and you can survive on that, then do so. If it's the case you can't survive on that, look at other products. And then once we're out of COVID-19 and things are starting to go back to normal, you've got to
Yeah.
reassess your outfits and then introduce new lines at a slightly higher price, so
Right.
you've got a better product and people would then start buying the better product. If you try and sell the same stock as you've got now for a higher price as things start to improve, you're going to get a lot of resistance to that.
Absolutely right. Yes. Now, at the end of this show, I just want to know, and I just want some few words for my Instagram followers, for my Instagram family, that how will they go through with this idea, and how will they come up with any different thoughts in 2020, that they should be like in a normal way, everything is under control, and the things, the markets are also on the flow, and the demands will also be fulfilled, shows will also go on. What is your suggestion, Richard, for your followers, for my followers?
The thing to remember is that things will always change. All right, so you've got to be ready for those changes. So what I do is every 3 months I find a little bit of quiet time and I sit down and I think about what I'm doing and think
Yeah,
about what things I can improve on and what things I need to get rid of. Right. So the first thing is you've got to spend a bit of time every 3 months to sit and think about what's happening,
that
what you can improve
absolutely
and what you can get.
right. Yeah,
The second thing is you've got to watch what's going on around you. You've got to see what other people are doing and find out what is working for them and how you can use that for yourself. There's no point doing a small show when there's nothing can come of it. But you might find that doing a virtual show where you could have go back to shoes. You know, you can have women model your shoes in your garden or in your flat or wherever. You can do a little video of those, and you can put together a collection, and
yeah,
then put that online on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, etc.,
yeah,
and just show it there. So it's again, it goes back to what I said at the beginning. You've got to keep yourself trending. You've got to keep
yes,
yourself in the public eye, and you've got to constantly have your name in front of people. So that's the second point. The third point is go for it. At the end of the day, if you want to do something, go for it. Too many people say they want to do this, they want to do that, and they
yeah,
spend months, sometimes even years, not pursuing their dream because they don't know how to do it or they're a bit scared of doing it, etc. Go for it, have fun with it. At the end of the day, I never thought I was going to do a fashion show. I did one last year. I'm planning one next year. So I've gone for it. And the process that you go through is a great learning experience. You get to meet some great people. You get to connect with people like we have. And at the end of the day, it's all about, you're connecting with people, you're helping people. I help people, people help me. And it really, really works. I've always believed the more you give, the more you get back. So, I would advise anybody connect with other people, talk to other people. I said about
absolutely.
the bags, come and talk to me about the bags. We can do something together. It's as simple as that. If you've got an opportunity, go for it. Okay?
Yes, of course. So we have to see and well, for this lovely session, thank you so much, Richard,
Been my
having
pleasure.
me here and giving me your precious time. And yes, of course, I am always been so excited to see your shop, to see your show, and I'm willing that the coming year 2021 will be the awesome for everyone who are actually into this field, and we are hoping for the best for us to be overcome with all these crises which we are going through. And definitely it would be the end of it. It cannot be so long as people are thinking. Some people are thinking it will go on, but no, nothing is like the end of the things. It cannot be. So yes, again, thank you, Richard, and
My
have a
pleasure.
great day. And yes, of course, waiting for your new theme, which you always generate, your new concept, and lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.